so CSC and ORS, first of all, let's have an update. I first got that concept in June 2009, so that took me 11 years to get that. Closed, selective and controlling meets open, random and supportive. Institutional thinking meets network thinking. Okay, that's the big shift that I saw in June 2009. Not that I saw, that I could communicate, that I could lay down in words and in video and say. So 2.5 years later, ORS and CSC have stood the test of time. People talk about CSC, closed, selective and controlling thinking. People talk about open, random and supportive thinking. They talk about it in tweets, they talk about it in blogs, they talk about it in videos on YouTube, all over. So it's being verbalised. So that's a bit of progress. But I think the thing that I'm most pleased about is people are starting to aspire to ORS. They're trying to be open, random and supportive. And to be open, random and supportive is really, really difficult. It's a state of mind, it's an attitude, because you've got to be open to all things at all times. That's really hard. It's really hard to be open to all things and at all times. All information, all people, all environments, all situations, very hard to be open to them. The random nature of the way data comes at us now. One of the things I've learned recently is we now consume 30 times more data in a day than we did 10 years ago. So if you like, we get a month's data in a day now. Okay, so it's going to be in a mess. It's just going to be a random flow of stuff. So that's a real struggle. And you know, people like to say, well, I'm going to select that, ignore that, and people still like to be selective. And of course, the last piece is the supportive piece, a bit about being supportive to others. And people are struggling so much themselves to keep up with all the information that I think, well, I really want to focus on myself. I don't really want to support others because I'm struggling myself to keep up. So I think all of the different types of personality in the world, some are open, some are closed, some are selective, some are controlling, some are supportive, they're all kind of different, are all struggling with the idea of being open, random and supportive. Some people can be supportive and open. Some people can be random and supportive but closed. So that journey, that tip, I think may take as long as a decade for a lot of people, even now in 2011. I think when you start to see things like the governments in Europe working together to try and solve the euro crisis, they're trying to be open, but they're really closed. They're trying to deal with the random, but they're really carefully selective about what they consume. They're trying to be supportive to poor old Greece, but quite frankly, they'd like to bat it out of the game in reality. So the shift to being open, random and supportive is emerging, but I think it's an emerging thing over a decade. And as an individual to adjust to it probably takes many thousands of hours. Then to adjust a corporation to do it, where there's thousands of individuals in some cases, it's going to take a long, long time. But I think when you get it in your head, and when you get it as an attitude, when you get it as a state of mind, and you start to, a little bit like Jim Carrey in that movie, Yes, just saying yes to everything, and that crazy outcome that comes about. Be open to all things at all times. Even events that are scary and dangerous and threatening, be open to threatening environments. That's very hard to do. Randomly absorb all data that comes at you. All data. Don't choose, don't select. Just absorb it all and then filter it. And then support everyone around you. Big journey. But it is the right journey. Everyone will go ORS. Everyone will become open, random and supportive. But over a decade's period.